Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend him off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
I need a drink. I got the goddamn.
Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than staying in the garage makes you a car. That's the car.
The heck? You can drive.
Did a decent job on the Henry case, Phelps. Not bad for your first time at bat.
Thanks, Rusty.
But don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
And no assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. We might get along after all.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have two of my finest investigators on the case, fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex
Captain, aren't there similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry? And of Elizabeth Short, for that
So you don't
matter?
believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world, with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to beat that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
Detective, I was first on scene.
So, hey, what's going on?
Are you going to
You
tell
find
us
her,
what
Gonzalez?
the hell is going
Not me.
on?
Family out for a stroll. I was first reporting.
Can you show me the body?
It's under the pepper tree, this way.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
Here she is.
The stomping angle in the Henry case. Was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by RNI?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money?
Officer Gonzalez, badge 994. Victim of white female Jane Doe on Hill Street. Possible ID of Deidre Muller. Can you run through the name?
Looks like she was tied up.
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
Reported by whom?
Ligature mark is very
Distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
What's this mark? A cut on the finger.
Fourth finger, left hand, a wedding or engagement ring, violently removed.
Detectives, RNI says that Deirdre Muller of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hugo Muller.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. We could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
So, hey, what's going on?
Somebody going to tell us what the hell is going
You know the way. You can drive.
There still might be some playing the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? You know, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagine. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eye don't bend.
This conversation is over.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Mahler?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle? We're going to have a look around.
He'll be back any moment. Just sit tight.
Work boots. Size 8s. Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body. No sign of a wedding ring.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try. Daddy should be on his way.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered. He came straight away then.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Mommy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. We had a fight. It was kind of a makeup present.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your father ever hit your mother?
Just the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. Mommy always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller. You've been very brave.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's
Your
some
wife
kind
was
of...
found murdered this morning.
Found? What? But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
What size shoe do you wear, Mr. Mueller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Why are you lying to me, Mr. Mueller?
Why would I lie to you at a time like this?
That's funny. The work boots we found here are size 8s. Why lie about it if you've got nothing to hide?
Because I always get teased about the size of my feet. You know, small feet, small...
Always been true in my experience.
So you were here all night. You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You should come clean if you're having an affair, or if there's something going on.
I told you I was here. Were you saying I wasn't?
So why did you take so long to answer the phone when your daughter called?
Okay, I went out for a while. I was driving around. It's my way of relaxing.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
Did your wife ever go out by herself? To bars, nightclubs?
No. What are you suggesting? You suggesting my wife's loose? Now is not the time for you to be pushing me, mister.
Your daughter said you were having an argument.
We argued about who would pick up Michelle. I worked a full day. I wanted to come home, put my feet up.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, God damn it.
It is true, Hugo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hugo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
Nobody likes a cheapskate, Hugo.
Getting hostile with us is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Mueller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
We should go back in there and bust his ass.
1, we need to break his alibi. Check phone records, canvass the neighbors. 2, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in L.A. 3, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello, detective.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Mueller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Mueller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Mueller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no shooting. We need this guy to make the case.
There he is. See him?
This doesn't look good, Hugo.
I can explain the blood.
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Yes, sir, Detective.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncle?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid. Galloway, Homicide Division, badge number 564.
Go ahead, Detective Unit.
Can we get Ray Pinker and a technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie Bray Street? And send someone down from Juvenile Hall to look after a young lady.
Roger, 11K. Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has a report waiting at the police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL.
You're behind the wheel. Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Belmont High School.
Checking for you, Detective. Belmont High, 1575 West 2nd Street.
Thank you.
When is America going to understand?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband, Phelps. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. And try this one on for size. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
Saturday's the spring unveiling, Emmy. It's the first season since fabric rationing's over. We have to go.
I told you I can't Saturday. I'm busy.
Busy where? You're going on another drive with Davy Gardner, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
There he is, officer. There he is. See him?
That's far enough, freak. You move a muscle and you're a dead man.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
11K, go ahead.
11K, see the janitor. A green 1946 coupe registered to a Mrs. Hugo Moeller has been found in the parking lot adjoining the Belmont High School and playing fields. 11K, code 2.
What's your name?
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you oaky motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You're in very deep trouble. Get some backup down here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper.
What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
Eli Rooney. We've met him.
Filthy son of a bitch. He was here yesterday before the dance.
Was it him you saw park the car?
I don't know, sir. I'd like to say yes, but the truth is it was pretty dark.
Would you say Rooney is violent?
Yes, sir. I would say so, yes.
Thanks for your help. Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here. The overalls are stenciled HM. Muller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Muller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thanks for your help. Can you drive to this one?
I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Muller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
So are we looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my experience, sailors seem to have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Muller criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know. You're behind the wheel.
Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
Carruthers is a good man, professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, that, the coroner's.
How so?
You know, you don't want them enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
You've been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get through a magazine.
You know, if I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the print. You better not go soft on me in here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest. Here's where we stand, Hugo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Believe what?
It's rabbit's blood. A guy at work brought him in and I helped him skin them.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
You learned to strangle with the rope in the Army?
With rope, with my bare hands, but mainly with wire. I learned a lot of things in the Army, but I still didn't kill my wife.
For argument's sake, what type of rope would you use?
If I had to, I would use a triple braid. Less flex, easier to control.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house. Why are you just sitting there?
Green overalls, blood-stained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hugo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler.
Mary says he'll sing. Only if I guarantee he won't.
Why are you just sitting there?
That bum took a swipe at me.
I say we bust in there.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine. You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Until I hitch and braid, it stays tight.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things, and you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight, and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back in the stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rat. I ain't a killer.
Phelps, Galloway, congratulations are at hand. Drink, boys? I think you'll receive a commendation for this one, gentlemen. In the meantime, I'll speak to the DA about expediting the passage of the case. We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.
Phelps! We captured 2 regular army. Lieutenant! Phelps, we've been over this. That sniper barely missed you back on the beach. Until the mission is over, there'll be no more saluting or signs of rank.
I'm in charge here, Medier!
Do you wish to interrogate the prisoners?
No, they're beat. Why they look so sullen? You're wondering why we haven't killed them yet. There is no greater shame than being taken prisoner.
Get this, Golden Boy actually seems to know what he's doing. See that, boys? He slapped that Jap right upside the head.
It was merely to remind him of his place. His shame was the tone of voice that he used with a superior. I respect the Japanese, Corporal.
Respect, we're here to kill the sons of bitches.
Do you know why we are fighting the Japanese, Private?
With respect, sir, these bastards attacked Pearl Harbor.
And why did they attack Pearl, Private?
Because they hate the US of A and our way of life.
They attacked the US because we cut off their oil. What would we do if another country denied us the gas to run our cars?
Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
You can drive.
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Carruthers, Pinker.
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card?
Did he want us to find it?
The lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered,
Yeah. We know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh, same as the library card.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
How about $50?
That's got to be a code or a cipher. Where are you taking us? Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. We got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
The trail points up.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown. You know the way. You can drive.
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting it.
I'm sure.
Wait just a moment. Sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps in Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPenta, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. What are we waiting for? You look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from.
What are we waiting for? Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No, that can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out the Eldorado bar.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
A nosy old hag? Ha! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. So what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
Divorce papers? Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
You're gonna see your married man again?
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
Fine, thanks. Can you drive to this one?
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got up.
Stay back.
Now look.
Don't make me hurt you.
I got nothing to say to you. Stay fucking.
Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night! God damn it! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
Optimistic, Cole.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
The El Dorado must be a family favorite.
This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast. No good. There's nobody here.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD, were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever
Phelps,
hear?
badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thanks, ma'am. You can drive. Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, Phelps. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury.
We gonna go downstairs and see Donnelly or what?
My head.
This guy's got a screw loose.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and type from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nut job's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley. Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down in one round.
That's the cop from the newspaper.
Harry says I'll sing, but Only if I guarantee he walks.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe. She didn't stay long.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her, and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out, and I went out after her, and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
Angel, I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Give me something or I'm going to have you charged.
My brother, Ippolito, he said some bad things about Antonia last night. So I had to sock him one. We got into it.
Keep talking.
She said she came from the El Dorado bar.
And?
It's not one of my places. We used to buy fruit at the market down the street. But the creep there was always running his eyes all over my wife.
What's the name of this fruit market?
Just picked fruit. Ord Street downtown.
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us. You're behind the wheel. Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
And now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? The fucking case just gnaws away at your guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted on the fucking sidewalk.
The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start and saved ourselves a day's legwork.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She hadn't been back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. They must have seen it during the war.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps. When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market. Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do. It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Hit it. Clean this asshole off the road. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
We'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show? Who the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in a short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
What on earth is that?
Greetings from sunny California. When's it going to stop? A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send there.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries?
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
catch all the good ones, Phelps. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way. I think I should get back to my cleaning.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Missing persons reports for white females over the last 48 hours.
One moment. We have 3 white females listed as missing, Detective. Myrtle Douglas, 294 Whitmer Street. One Beatrix Rogers of 1152 West 4th Street. And a Mrs. Teresa Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks.
Jesus, missing persons reports. We're going to be at this all night.
You can drive.
This is a shot in the dark. How do we know someone even filled in a missing persons report for this dame?
We don't, but it's the only thing we've got to go on.
You sure? You sure you searched the scene, Cole?
I had a good look.
No, I mean really searched it.
You were there too.
Oh, Jesus, come on. I thought you were the goody two-shoes little prick who went over crime scenes with a fine-tooth comb. Thought I could relax in my old age here, Cole.
The rain must have washed away the clues that would have led us to her identity.
I knew this weather was going to ruin my night. At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
How can I help you, Sonny?
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
Harry Douglas. I made the report. It's my wife, Myrtle.
How long has she been missing, sir?
Phelps, this isn't going to help our cause.
Go ahead, sir.
What year is this, son?
1947, sir.
I would say for the best part of 12 years now.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. I hope she comes back.
I do too. I miss her.
Let's get out of here.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
See what I mean? We'll be at this all night.
There are only 2 more missing person leads on our list.
And they'll probably be as useless as the last guy.
But they're just as likely to be reports for that woman in the green dress.
No amount of wishful think is going to make me happy to be stuck in this car with you, Phelps.
Learn to love it, Galloway. I'm not going anywhere.
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
It's my wife. She's been missing for 2 weeks.
How old is your wife?
16, nearly 17.
And how old are you?
19.
And you had been fighting?
Oh, a little, I guess. She says she wants to go out and have some fun. And me, I'm working double shifts down at the Saval tool plant.
Try the bars along Sunset. We're out of here.
Can you drive to this one?
Another waste of time.
Eliminating false leads is an important aspect of police work. I'm surprised I need to tell you that.
You want to know what we did when it rained in the old days, Phelps?
What?
We operated on the principle that all clues would be washed away. We grabbed someone close, we put the screws on until they pointed us in the right direction. That's simple.
Why do I get the impression that you're just making this up?
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Tarleton? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
Can I comfort my daughters now?
Junk.
To check if she was a regular.
I wonder why the picture was turned down. Nothing significant. This doesn't pertain to the case. Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
If you'd excuse me, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. At least she was spared that particular indignity. We can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Looks like I made a mistake. So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. Paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
Looks like I was mistaken. Why did you only report your wife missing this morning?
I thought she would have called off last night from the bar.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrellson. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life.
Appreciate your time, sir.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought. You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
Maybe. Either way, we need to check the alibi. This, Bobby Ross character.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am. You're behind the wheel.
We're looking for a tall, disfigured man at the camp.
Could be difficult. Most bums look deformed to me.
Come on, Rusty. This isn't gothic fiction. Hobos are just like you or me. They're just men who've fallen on hard times.
You ain't much of a detective, Phelps, if you think a hobo's like me. Clue number one, how do I smell?
Of alcohol and stale sweat. You know, I may be onto something here.
Very funny, Phelps.
Always Bob. Don't leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife? I'm the one. Nobody cares about me. I took a
We're
bullet.
looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the lead. These guys can wait.
Can you drive to this one?
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions.
Something wrong, pal? I can pour you a couple fingers if that'll help.
What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
God damn it all, I asked them to hold the mayo.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
The husband said she wanted to go dancing.
Yeah, she always wants to dance when she's been drinking. She was trying to talk some guys into taking her to one of the dance halls.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. We can't let the son of a bitch get away.
2 club sandwiches. Thank you, waitress.
Go, Phelps, get after it. Come on, we got a ride. Get in and drive.
I thought you were gonna leave me there. Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you. God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there. Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road. Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he let the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. He's showing you how it's done. Come on, Phelps. You're letting this lust get away from you. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires. Now is not the time to play around, Phelps. Maybe you shouldn't have waited for me, Phelps. God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there. Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this? Come on. If we're doing this, get it over with.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your Salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
You can drive.
Car 11 King to KGPL.
KGPL. Go ahead, 11 King.
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Relay all sightings to 11K.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks. Lars was out in the rain last night.
Teresa's trail leads right to this cabbie's back seat, Phelps. We need to find him.
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thank you.
Phelps. I read about him in the paper.
Where's that cab got to now?
Car 11K, yellow cab 3591, was just seen leaving Dewey's Car Sales, driving north on Union Drive. KGPL.
The search continues.
Patrolman reports yellow cab 3591 at Loma and Union Drive, headed northeast.
He's moving.
your APB. Yellow Cab 3591. Reported at the Turkey Bowl Diner. Last seen turning north on Loma Drive, heading northeast.
Hey, come on! I won't that little bastard stay still.
3591, that's him there, Phelps. Hit the siren.
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It's a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
You know the way. You can drive. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
He's in interview 2.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
Hey, I think those Vice boys get
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrelson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. Caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrelson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab, and I caught a bus back to the base.
We spoke to the cab driver. Tell us what really happened at the Crystal Ballroom.
I'd had enough. She was all upset about her husband bawling about her kids. She looked old. Left around closing, maybe 1:30. We got on a bus and she fell asleep on my shoulder.
Which bus?
An All-American, 249. I went past her place. She jumped off and I stayed on it downtown. After that, I caught another bus to San Pedro. The Indiana's down there. She's being scrapped.
And that was the last you saw of Teresa?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't say much. I think she was kind of embarrassed.
The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
It's not how I'd put it.
So the last thing you wanted was her playing hard to get. Did that make you mad, sailor?
Yeah, it did. She knew what a guy's looking for. All broads do. Dancing comes second.
And what happened at the Crystal Ballroom?
Nothing. Not even a little hand relief. She had another couple of drinks. There was no fun left in her. Just poured her guts out to some bartender.
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in two in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
What now? Drive all the way to San Pedro and check his locker?
Let's see if the bus story checks out.
There's a depot at 1660 Beverly Boulevard.
You're behind the wheel.
Three suspects in the can and one on the hook. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, could we have Lars Terrelson picked up?
11K, roger.
folks. It's about giving, not getting.
And thank you, ma'am. You have a safe trip now. Where are you boys headed today?
LAPD. We're after the driver of All-American 249. Would have been around midnight onwards last night.
Just a minute. Frank Zeffirelli. He's your man.
Where can we find him?
Frank is out on the 7-4.
Can you tell us the route?
Hang on. I should have it mapped out here somewhere.
I'll need to run the loop.
We're not going to drive the whole thing, are we?
Won't take long. We have a siren.
Hey! Has that just been paid? Look. All-American 7-4. Let's go get him. This could be a long trip, Cole.
Or it could be a short one.
And here's me without my hip flask and only a pain in the ass for company.
Way to kick off the drive in high spirits, Rusty. Comments like that put me in just the right mood for some legwork.
Touchy.
You know what your problem is? You don't like hard work. This kind of rigorous search is what police work is all about. Discipline.
Save it, Phelps. You're just as bored as I am. Hey! Whoa there! Easy.
Thanks for your trouble.
Nope, still no sign of him.
Did you doze off, Rusty? I think you slept through my solving the case.
Yeah, very funny. You just give me a nudge if you see him, all right?
How about you nudge me?
I think that's a job for your wife, Phelps.
Oh, Rusty. How long is this bus route?
It actually covers an area around the size of Central Division.
The probability is we'll find it about halfway around.
Bad luck says we'll be chasing it all night.
This is starting to grate a little.
Whatever happened to the joys of rigorous search? Dogged police work, you know?
They went out the window about 2 blocks ago.
Hey, this could be a Cole Phelps I'll grow to love.
Don't count on it.
Jesus, Phelps, you're terrorizing these poor schlubs. No, you should have gone around the other way. We would have run into the bus by now if you'd gone the other way.
How was I to know that at the time?
A good detective depends on his gut, and yours has just been found wanting.
Well, your gut clearly wants for nothing, Rusty. Though from the look of it, its main request is beer.
Beer and convictions, Phelps. Beer and convictions. That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road. That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road.
some kind of problem, buddy?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder. You had a sailor and a woman in a green dress on your bus late last night?
That's correct.
And the woman got off first, around 2 a.m.?
Yeah, that's right. And the sailor stayed on all the way to downtown.
Can you tell us where you let the woman off?
On California Street. To tell you the truth, she looked a little lost, like she got off on the wrong stop or something. I didn't like dropping her off near that hobo camp.
You've been a big help, Mr. Zeffirelli. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed? So Sailor Boy escaped by the seat of his bell-bottom trousers. He left the broad alive.
Left her by the hobo camp.
Which means he's as good as killed her.
We can't eliminate any of them, but the disfigured man should be our starting point.
I'm gonna call for some backup. These bows hate cops.
Damned.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic. You need to hold out till the cavalry arrive.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buckshot can get you down, folks.
If you want your
These men know they're
share,
harboring a murderer.
We need to fight for it!
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest?
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Hasn't given me anything to go on.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin.
Drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked? Can't we
What are we waiting for?
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Wrinkle was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Isn't he the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases?
What do you think?
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Peanuts are walking down the street. One was assaulted.
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Look around. Find something solid. Something that links the bow to the broad. Slow down.
Help me out.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
In front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
The heck?
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
That broad has socks.
What are we waiting for?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
I think the cop they've been talking about him.
Greetings from sunny California. When's it going to stop? A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Ah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.